Hi, thank you for joining me. So the other night I was just laying in bed and all of a sudden I had this message that was just loud and clear, which said, "Do you deny yourself?" Followed by a why. Why do you deny yourself? And it really made me think on different subjects where we do deny ourselves, thinking that we don't deserve to have something. And where is that stemming from? Like, where is that belief stemming from that we don't deserve to have that? I mean, if you had a friend of yours that wanted something, you would support your friend, you would help your friend to be able to get that. Yet when it comes to yourself, you don't help yourself. You don't do that for yourself. You'll do it for somebody else, but you won't do it for yourself. So if you look at different subjects on, do you deny yourself to have a certain feeling out of a form of punishment toward yourself, or not feeling that you deserve it? And a lot of these thoughts can stem from childhood. If you imagine as a young child and you just want to feel accepted and you just want to feel love, and especially from people that you look up to, a parent, grandparent, somebody that it has a position in your life where you look up to them, you're entrusting them to guide you in life because you're a child and you need that guidance. You don't know where you're going yourself and you're looking to adults in your life for that guidance. And if those adults say words to you like, "You're not good enough," or "No one's ever going to love you," if they say words out of their own fear, because somebody who uses words like that have their own issues. They are projecting their own fear onto somebody else. They are projecting their own misgivings about themselves onto someone. But to project it onto a child, an innocent child that absorbs so much information, if that's done on a regular basis, it's going to stick. The child is going to think, "I'm not worthy of having that," or they associate love with needing to manipulate or needing to just not be who they are. They have to perform in a certain way so that others will like them. It stems from so far back. So as you're going on through life, when you get to a point where you really want to love somebody, does that thought come back into the mind of, "You're not good enough, you don't deserve anybody else, you're not worthy of love," so you deny yourself of that happiness? And that's where that self-sabotaging comes in. And you finally get what it is that you're looking for, but then you sabotage it. That's you denying yourself of having it from the belief that you don't deserve to have it. And where did that belief come from in the first place? The belief was never, ever yours. The belief was somebody else's belief of themselves, projecting it onto you, and you took it. If you imagine being a child in school who was always in trouble, constantly in trouble, that repeated cycle of being told, "You're always in trouble, you're always the cause of everything, it's always you," is that child not going to grow up to then deny themselves of happiness because they don't deserve it? They were told repeatedly growing up, that they were the cause of everybody else's trouble. So that they're going to always sabotage themselves. They're always going to deny themselves of happiness. It can happen in so many different fields. And I spoke of this the other day. There is the love. We can deny ourselves the love thinking that we don't deserve it. We can deny ourselves wealth, money, because if we had money at some stage, or if we were reckless with money, if we did something, if we made a decision with money and it turned out to be a bad decision, we bought into a business and it went broke, or something happened along the way where we really made a difficult decision with money, ended up losing money, that can also play like the I'm not worthy, like that thought in the mind of I'm not very responsible with money, I made a mistake with money, I'm a fool when it comes to money. That self-talk can again deny us of having money in the future, because it's this cycle that will go around and around. It just plays around and around in the mind, thinking it's going to be the same, rather than looking at that situation that happened as a contained situation. That situation does not have to repeat itself. It was there for a reason, to show you what happened, like why it happened, to show you your strength. Did you get through it? Did you create something from that? Whatever happened, did you create something new from that? That's why it happened. It doesn't mean it has to happen again. You don't have to deny yourself again, because next time is different. Every situation is different. Unless you get stuck in that loop of constantly repeating the same thing over and over, and you're looking to repeat the same thing over and over. You can deny yourself of so much, like, I don't deserve to be happy. I created pain. I hurt other people in my life, so I can deny myself happiness. How many times have you heard yourself say that? Or is that the way that you think? So when you get to the point of when you can understand what it is that you deny yourself of, first of all, get clear on what it is. And it may be several different areas. It may be love, it may be money, it may be a profession, it may be if you wanted to be a sports, someone who was very, very good at a particular sport, or a natural talent that you have and you've wanted to do it, but you've just never followed doing that path. You've always done what other people expected of you, and you haven't followed what you wanted, so you denied yourself of using your own natural talents in the area. Work on which area it is first. You can do this step by step, and then try to work out, where did this come from? Like, where did this belief come from that I don't deserve to have that? Can you recall somebody repeatedly telling you that you weren't good enough? Can you remember really respecting somebody, an adult person in your life, telling you that you weren't worthy, that you were naughty, and so good things shouldn't happen to you? If you can, even in a little meditated state, if you can just quieten your mind and just go back and allow a vision to come back into your mind about where this first started. And what you can do is play the situation out again, put yourself back into that time, whatever age you were, and the conversation that was happening with the other person. If they were projecting something onto you, this time when you go through that situation in your mind, look at the other person and say to them, these are your thoughts. This is your perception, and you are reflecting it on me, but it is not mine to carry. It is not mine. And I'm sending it back to you. I'm sending it back to where it came. It's a good little exercise just to try to clear it, to give it back to where it originally came from. And you can do that with any conversation in your life, even as an adult, where somebody has stood in front of you and told you who you are. Like, they've told you that this is your personality and this is what you are about and this is how you think. When someone has stood there and told you who you are, that is only their perception. And it comes from how they feel about themselves. It is not you. Nobody knows you like you know you. You are the only person that knows what your deep thoughts are. You're the only person that knows what you feel inside. You're the only person that knows why you do things. They can only perceive what they think they know, and it comes from their perception. It's exactly the same as when you look at another person. So you can look at somebody and come up with a whole theory on why you think they are like they are. You can look at their life, you can look at their actions, you can look at everything about them and think, I've figured out why they are like they are. It's only your perception from the way you think, the level of your thinking is, and your own reflection will come up with a theory on why you think they are like they are. You can't know. You can never know what is going on in somebody else's mind and in somebody else's thoughts and in somebody else's feelings. Even when people tell you what they're feeling, it doesn't mean it's truth. Anybody can say anything. It doesn't mean it's truth. Quite often people just say what they think another person wants them to hear. So what are you denying yourself of having, and why? Why don't you believe that you can have that? Get to the bottom of why can't I have that? We come to this earth with a clean slate. We can create while we're here. So why can't you have it? Who said? Who said you can't have it? God never said you can't have it. God gives everybody a chance at life and the chance at all experiences. We are unlimited beings. We don't have limits put on us. We are unlimited. So why can't you have it? And if you can give yourself an answer to that question, it'll start you thinking on how you can then clear that and stop denying yourself of having what you rightfully deserve. It's just not fair if somebody projects their own issues. You know, when somebody is so angry inside themselves and they are so controlling and they are so scared of people leaving their life, they are like codependent and they just cling onto people. They don't see the damage that they are doing to the other person. When it's a constant thing, they are constantly damaging another person because of their own problems. Their own problems are being projected onto somebody else. And then the other person that's taking those words then starts denying themselves of having anything because I don't deserve it. That person told me that I'm not worthy. That person told me I'm not deserving. So they must be right. No, they're not right. This is where you have to send back what is projected towards you. It is not yours to own and to carry. It's not yours. It's theirs. You're carrying beliefs of other people. And once you send it back, I quite often just get like I visualize a bowl and I put all the words that were spoken and just visualize it going back, like I'm throwing a ball back to where it came from. They can carry it. They want to project that. They can carry it. It comes back to them. They can deal with it themselves. I'm not going to carry the perceptions of somebody else and what they think of me. I'm working on what I think of myself. I'm working on clearing the blocks that I have inside me. I'm working on where I see I'm denying myself of having something and why. That's where the focus is. The focus is on the healing on the inside. Anyone that wants to project something towards me, it can hit a barrier and it can go back. So I hope that helps you be more aware where you may be denying yourself. And if you see yourself doing it, straight away just say to yourself, why? Why am I denying myself this? Why? Once you start asking yourself why, it starts you thinking on a different like wavelength, and you can clear a lot of stuff up. And while I love when I'm doing work and connecting with somebody else and doing readings, and I write something down during a reading and I've got to go back and read it again, because sometimes the messages that come through are so profound and they're so deep, and I'm like, I've just got to read that again. And I wrote this down today when I was working with somebody, and I had to copy it down because it just felt so right. These words felt so right. So what was spoken today was, whenever you want something to be a certain way for a loved one, we think it's because we love them and care for them. But in reality, it's us living our life through them, wanting them to be an extension of who we are so that we are comforted with our own lives. Does that make sense to you? Because that just made so much sense to me. We see loved ones around us and we want to comfort them, we want to fix them, we want to heal their lives. We don't want their soul to go on its own journey. We want to be part of the control. And a lot of the time it's just, they're an extension of us, especially if it's your own children or a partner or your parents. They're an extension of us. So in a way, we want that extension to feel the same way that we feel so that we're comforted. We don't want that extension to be an uncomfortable feeling. So we've got to fix it. But in reality, if you take away all the labels and so everybody that's in your family, your children, your partner, your mum, dad, your brother, your sister. Pick a person in your family and remove the label on who they are. See them as a soul having an experience in a human body, and what that soul needs has got nothing to do with you. Whatever that soul needs, that soul might want to have a journey with you. That soul may want to travel with you and see life in the same area as you. But there's no control. You're not ever controlling that soul's journey and that soul's experiences. When you start looking at people around you as souls that are just in human form, and when they die, they'll move on and go into another lifetime. We don't have any control over any of that. It's only this ego part of us that wants to fix stuff for them and control other people. And it's always just so that we can feel good about ourselves. So I loved those words that came through today. My guides at the moment are giving me such deep thought. But it's very knowledgeable. It's really good to have a think about it. But so have a think about the denying yourself. Ask yourself, what do you deny yourself of having? And then follow it up with why. Who told you? Who told you you're not worthy of having that? Who told you to deny yourself of that? Get a bit deeper into it and help to clear it up. So thank you for listening to me.